Le 11 novembre de chaque année, les Canadiennes de partout au pays se recueillent en silence pendant quelques instants pour se souvenir des hommes et des femmes qui ont survécu et qui continuent de survivre notre pays en temps de guerre, de conflit et de paix. This moment of silence on Remembrance Day honors those who fought for Canada in the First World War, the Second World War, and the Korean War, as well as those who have served since then. More than 2.3 million Canadians have served our country in this way, and more than 118,000 have died. They gave their lives and their futures so that we may live in peace. We mark Remembrance Day this year in a different way. Instead of gathering at Veterans Park on a cool November morning, we participate in the act of remembrance in our homes, schools, and workplaces. Je vous invite à nous accorder quelques instants pour regarder quelques images des événements du jour de Souvenir à Côte Saint-Luc depuis les années 70 jusqu'à aujourd'hui. It is a tribute to our veterans, particularly those members of our local Branch 97. I also encourage you to visit some of the websites listed in the description below to learn more about Remembrance Day, Canadian veterans, and why we remember.
For those present who have not experienced war, firstly, I would like to say that I am glad that you were spared the horror. Secondly, I would like to say that though time seems to dull the intensity of such an event, its significance remains.
We have seen the face of terror. We have cried, pained, and hoped. But most of all, we have lived times others would say were best forgotten. At least someday, we will be able to say we did what we had to do and that we were proud of what we were, soldiers. Yes, we were a band of soldiers.
We are here today to pay our respects and to honor those who sacrificed their young lives for years and our freedom. We need to honor all veterans who did so much to define our nation, and we cannot allow their enormous sacrifice to slip away into the darkness. And this is why Legion members, after rituals, will always say, "We will remember."
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Ils ne vieilliront pas comme nous qui leur avons survécu. Ils ne connaîtront jamais l'outrage ni le poids des années. Quand viendra l'heure du crépuscule et celle de l'aurore, nous nous souviendrons d'eux.
Those of us who have not served will never fully understand the sacrifices you've made, both in times of peace and of war. We will never fully understand what you were required to do. We will never fully understand the depths of your scars. But what we can do is this. We see you, we recognize your humanity, and we send you love that is gentle, patient, and healing. With gratitude, we will remember you.
There stands a soldier, by Audrey Waters. There stands a soldier, tall, proud, and still, guarding and protecting the rights of all who will remember, all who live so free, in this great country, Canada, home for you and me.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover, tomorrow just to wait and see. There'll be love and laughter and peace ever after, tomorrow when the world is free.
You've never had to go to war. You haven't lived in a country where your house is being bombed, where your parents can't go to work to make money for food, where your friends have been killed. So what do you do on Remembrance Day? Well, the most important thing you do is you're here today. You're here today honoring those who died for our freedom. But if you want to do something even more special, at the end of this ceremony, you and your friends should go over to these men who served for our freedom and saw those terrible things and lost some of their friends. Put out your hand and say thank you, and tell them that you will never forget what they did, and make sure that no one ever forgets what they did.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you, to thank our veterans, to thank men like Alan, to thank men like George who are here in this room, and to thank all those who didn't make it back from all of Canada's wars. To remember them, like the friend that George talked about, the man who could have been here with us 70 years later with children and grandchildren, is not here. And there's so many thousands of them. And why did they give their lives? They gave their lives so that we could live in freedom.
When our kids and our grandkids trek around Europe and observe, as many of us did, that the Canadian flag on our backpack elicits smiles, even opens doors occasionally, dear veterans, those smiles, those open doors belong to you.
Your challenge now is to continue this legacy of remembrance. There are no veterans of the Great War still living, and those from the Second World War grow smaller with each passing Remembrance Day. If all that we have left to remember those who fought and those who fell are grainy photos in a textbook, then we have done all of our veterans an injustice. Instead, go forward and ensure that the lessons of the last 100 years are not lost on the next 100 years. Recall the words of John McCrae, who famously wrote, "To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high."